All right, listen up. I'm Dr. Collins. With me is our top resident, Sarah. Today's mission, Patent Ductus Arteriosus. We're starting with a high-speed blitz. Let's move. PDA, it's a fetal shortcut. Aorta to pulmonary artery. It's supposed to close after birth. When it fails, you get a constant, rough, noisy murmur. Sounds like a machine. You'll hear it right under the left collarbone. That constant leak creates a massive gap between your systolic and diastolic pressure. The result? Wide pulse pressure. And you get these forceful, bounding pulses. You can literally feel them hammering away in the arteries. 2 drugs, 2 opposing missions. Indomethacin closes the gate. Prostaglandin E1 forces it open if other defects depend on it. Always link PDA to congenital rubella. And watch for Eisenmenger Syndrome. That's when you see the classic sign, cyanosis in the toes, but the fingers are totally pink. Let's go. Hold. Before we proceed, we must cover the mandatory safety protocol. All personnel attend to the following briefing. This content is for educational purposes for USMLE and international boards only. It is not medical advice. Always consult official guidelines and a specialist physician for clinical decisions. Okay, Sarah, let's deconstruct this. The ductus arteriosus is a critical blood vessel in fetal circulation, connecting the aorta and the pulmonary artery. It's supposed to shut down right after birth. When it stays open or patent, we have a problem. So let's get to the core of it. Why exactly does a PDA cause that very famous, very specific, continuous murmur? What's the physics behind that constant sound? It's all about the pressure gradient, Dr. Collins. Think of it like a leaky faucet. The aorta is a high-pressure pipe, and the pulmonary artery is a low-pressure pipe. The PDA is a small hole connecting them. Because the pressure in the aorta is always higher, both when the heart contracts and when it rests, blood is constantly leaking through that hole. That constant jet of blood creates the continuous, high-pitched machinery murmur. Perfect. Continuous pressure, continuous flow, continuous sound. It's that simple. Now let's move on to management. And this right here is where a lot of people get into trouble. It's a classic clinical trap. So you've got 2 main tools in your pharmacologic arsenal, Indomethacin and Prostaglandins. But here's the catch. They do the exact opposite thing. So Sarah, how do you make the right call? It all comes down to one question. Does the patient need the PDA to survive? If the PDA is the only problem, especially in a preemie, we want it closed. We use Indomethacin to block prostaglandins and shut the gate. But, and this is critical, if the baby has another serious heart defect, that PDA might be the only thing keeping them alive. In those cases, we give prostaglandin E1 to keep that gate open until they can get to surgery. That's the crucial distinction. Excellent. Okay, time for a pop quiz, Sarah. What's the single most high-yield physical sign you might see? The one that screams PDA on a board exam? That would be differential cyanosis. It's board exam gold. In late-stage disease, pulmonary hypertension can reverse the shunt. Deoxygenated blood then flows into the aorta after the arteries to the arms have branched off. Just imagine a baby with blue, clubbed toes but perfectly pink fingers. That's differential cyanosis, a classic sign of PDA with Eisenmenger Syndrome.
Exactly right. And never forget its association with congenital rubella. A maternal rash plus a machine murmur in the baby points straight to PDA.
All right, team, it's time to lock this intel down. Prepare for the memory chant. Continuous is the sound. Machinery on the ground. Indomethacin to close. Prostaglandin to posinoid. Blue toes, pink hands. Links. Review the lands. All right, and now for our question of the day. Have you ever actually felt those bounding pulses or what's called a water hammer pulse in a real patient with PDA? We want to hear about it. Tell us your story in the comments below. Mission complete, loop locked. Indomethacin ends it, prostaglandin keeps it patent. And that's a wrap on our Patent Ductus Arteriosus masterclass. But we are far from done. Join us for our next mission, where we'll deconstruct the king of cyanotic heart defects, tetralogy of Fallot. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the briefing. Dismissed.